We're talking about the curse of the Pharaohs. Is it a genuine supernatural force unleashed from the grave, or just a fantastic story spun from coincidence and fear? Today, we're going to dig for the truth. Our story begins in 1922. The world is buzzing with excitement. British archaeologist Howard Carter, after years of relentless searching, has just breached the sealed doorway of a tomb in the Valley of the Kings. This isn't just any tomb. It's the final resting place of Tutankhamun, the boy king, untouched for over 3,000 years. The treasures within are breathtaking: gold, jewels, and artifacts beyond imagination. But as the world celebrated, a darker narrative began to unfold. Whispers of a curse inscribed on the tomb, warning that death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the king. The first domino to fall was Lord Carnarvon, the wealthy patron who funded Carter's expedition. Just a few months after the tomb was opened, he died suddenly in Cairo. The cause? An infected mosquito bite on his cheek, eerily in the same spot as a mark on King Tut's death mask. On the night he died, all the lights in Cairo mysteriously went out. At the same moment, back in England, Carnarvon's beloved dog, Susie, howled and dropped dead. Coincidence? Or the first victim of the Pharaohs' revenge? The media went into a frenzy. Newspapers eagerly listed the victims of the curse. George J. Gould, a wealthy American visitor to the tomb, died from a fever shortly after his visit. Prince Ali Kamal Fahmy Bey of Egypt was shot by his wife after he was photographed at the tomb. Sir Archibald Douglas Reed, a radiologist who x-rayed Tut's mummy, fell ill and died. The list grew, and with each name, the legend of the curse solidified in the public's mind. It was a terrifying, thrilling tale. The ancient dead were reaching out from beyond the grave to protect their sacred rest. But here's where the story takes a turn. Let's look at this with a skeptical eye, like a modern-day detective examining a cold case. What if the curse wasn't supernatural at all? What if it was something far more ... scientific? When these tombs were sealed thousands of years ago, they became perfect time capsules. But they didn't just preserve gold and chariots. They also preserved whatever was in the air at the time: bacteria, mold, and fungal spores. Think about it. An enclosed space, dark and undisturbed for millennia. It's the perfect breeding ground for microscopic organisms. Some modern scientists propose that ancient dormant pathogens could have been lurking inside. When the tomb was opened, these spores were released into the air. People with weakened immune systems, or those who were already unwell, could have inhaled these dangerous microbes. Lord Carnarvon, for instance, was in poor health from a car accident years earlier. His infected mosquito bite could have simply overwhelmed his compromised immune system. So perhaps the curse was actually a biological booby trap, a form of ancient germ warfare. Another theory points to something even more insidious: poison. The ancient Egyptians were masters of chemistry. They used a wide variety of minerals and substances for their paints, cosmetics, and mummification rituals. It's plausible that priests, wanting to deter tomb robbers, could have coated tomb walls or sarcophagi with toxic compounds like arsenic or mercury cyanide. These poisons could remain potent for thousands of years. Unsuspecting excavators, breathing in dust or touching surfaces, could have been slowly poisoned without even realizing it. The symptoms, fever, weakness, organ failure, could easily be mistaken for a mysterious illness, fitting the narrative of a curse perfectly. So we have microbes and poison as rational explanations. But let's look at the numbers, because statistics can often reveal the truth behind the hype. Of the 58 people who were present when the tomb of Tutankhamun was opened, how many do you think died within the next 10 years? The media would have you believe it was a massacre. The reality, only 8. That's a mortality rate of about 14%. Not insignificant, but hardly the supernatural plague it was made out to be. The average age of those 8 people was over 70. Most of the key figures lived long, full lives. Howard Carter, the man who actually broke the seal and spent the most time in the tomb, lived for another 17 years dying at the age of 64 from lymphoma. Herbert Winlock, another prominent Egyptologist on site, lived for another 28 years. If there was a curse, it was remarkably selective and surprisingly inefficient. The truth is, the curse narrative sold newspapers. It was far more exciting than reporting on elderly people dying of natural causes. This phenomenon isn't just about Tutankhamun. The idea of tomb curses existed long before 1922. Inscriptions found in other, much older tombs, known as mastabas from the Old Kingdom, contain clear warnings. They don't threaten death on swift wings, but they do promise divine retribution. One inscription reads, "As for any man who shall enter this tomb unclean, I shall seize his neck like a bird. I shall cast the fear of myself into him." These weren't aimed at future archaeologists. They were for contemporary tomb robbers. They were warnings meant to scare off thieves using the most powerful tool the Egyptians had, their deep-seated religious beliefs and fear of the afterlife. For an ancient Egyptian, angering a powerful spirit and risking their own eternal soul was a far greater deterrent than any locked door. So why do we remain so fascinated by the curse of the pharaohs? I think it's because the story touches on our deepest human fears and desires. The fear of death, the mystery of the unknown, and the idea that some things are best left undisturbed. It's a classic conflict, modern science versus ancient magic. We love the idea that there are forces in the world beyond our understanding, that the past can reach out and touch the present. The tomb of Tutankhamun, filled with unimaginable splendor, represented a bridge to a lost world. The curse added a layer of thrilling danger to that discovery. It made the pharaohs feel not just like historical figures, but like living, breathing entities, still capable of projecting their will. In the end, the evidence strongly suggests that the curse of the pharaohs is a myth, a powerful one, but a myth nonetheless. It's a combination of media sensationalism, statistical cherry-picking, and plausible scientific phenomena like dormant bacteria and ancient toxins. The real curse might not have been supernatural, but the very human curse of greed, which led to tomb robbing, and the curse of fascination, which led us to disturb their eternal rest in the first place. The legend serves as a powerful reminder of the respect and awe that these ancient civilizations command. The pharaohs may not be able to strike us down from the afterlife, but their legacy, their ingenuity, and the sheer power of their story continue to hold us spellbound. The greatest treasure Howard Carter found wasn't the gold. It was a story that would become immortal. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of history and myth. What do you believe? Was it a curse or just a series of unfortunate events? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed uncovering the truth, don't you forget to like this video and subscribe for more journeys into the world as greatest mysteries. See you next time.